Malave, and this is my presentation for the second week's discussion for PPA 555, Government, Budget, and Finance. So this week's discussion asks us to look at the Governor of California's state budget. I specifically looked at the fiscal year 2024 and 2025. During this presentation, I'll go over the two major priorities in the governor's budget that I chose. I'll also discuss the significant influences starting from FY 2022 that affected the fiscal year budget for 2024 and 2025. And then lastly, we'll discuss the notable changes to the mentioned priorities between the proposed budget in January, the May revision, and the enacted budget in June. All right, so according to the Governor of California, there were significant factors that affected the 2024-2025 budget for those fiscal years. He mentioned that in 2021, post-COVID-19, the state of California saw a surplus in the budget based on the increase or stimulus of the three big general revenue sources, and that is personal income, sales, and corporate taxes. However, in FY 2022, we saw a stock market decline, and that affected not just the stock market, obviously, it also affected personal income and spending. One of the major um, consequences of this decline was the IRS to push income tax um, filings to a much later date, I believe November. And so that equated to or resulted in a delay in receipt of tax revenues that would normally come around the April to May revision time period. Because of these unforeseen delays, the FY 2024 budget experienced a shortfall of $37.9 billion. So, of the two priorities that I've chosen from the governor's budget, the first of these is housing and homelessness. The second of these is higher education. So, when looking at the governor's budget for housing, homelessness, and higher education, this chart will show how um, there were some changes, especially in the areas of higher education. As you can see, the green bars here show the proposed budget from January of 2024. And so the governor for higher education, the governor proposed a $22.9 billion budget. And then in May of that year, you saw that number decrease to $22.5 billion. However, the budget then, the enacted budget then showed an increase in the budgeting to $24.8 billion. Now, one thing about the higher education budget is that it covers not just the budget for the University of California school system, it also includes the budget for the California State University system, as well as the community college system within California. The second of these that seemed to um, be prominent to me when I was looking at the governor's budget is the area of homelessness. As you can see in January, which is the green area for homelessness, the governor projected a budget of $3.4 billion. However, when the May revision came around, that number was lowered to $1.25 billion and remained as such once the June budget was enacted. And then the last of these, and I found this one to be pretty interesting, was the budget for housing. So one of the things about the housing budget is that it actually saw a reduction for FY 2024 and 25. So instead of um, getting money towards the housing budget, such as building housing, affordable housing for individuals in California, or um, providing some sort of assistance for buying homes or building homes in California. Um, Again, the area of housing saw a reduction. And so in January, during the proposed budget, the governor proposed a reduction of $1.2 billion in the area of housing. In the May revision, that number changed to a $1.1 billion reduction and remained as such for the June enacted budget as well. One thing that remained during that budget, though, was tax credits. So, even though there wasn't a budget to build new homes or provide assistance for affordable housing to Californians, there was still an availability of tax credits related for homeowners. Thank you for watching.